I'm absolutely devastated that such an allegation has been made. Royalty protection, VIP protection officers at the very highest levels of integrity, and for this to happen is a very, very bad day.
This was presumably someone you'd vetted.
Well, I was in charge of the high level of vetting in the police service, and you're right that those officers working alongside the royal family would have been vetted at the very highest level, the same vetting that anybody within the government or elsewhere has if they have access to confidential information.
So what should be done?
Well, what should be done is a full open inquiry as to why did this happen. Now, we don't know who this person was. Was it a principal protection officer, somebody who actually sits next to the Queen, or was it somebody who stood outside Buckingham Palace who got hold of this book? We don't know. They have different levels of vetting.
Is this book, as far as you know, widely available?
I doubt it. But anybody working within the environment of the royalty protection may well have had access to it at some point.
Well, presumably they'd have had to have access to it on security grounds.
Absolutely. I mean, but the point I'm making here is that police officers are vetted at different levels. So it may well be not somebody who's at the highest level of vetting.
Now, the broader question of the relationship between the police and the tabloid press, this is a pretty murky area, isn't it?
Well, look, police and press must speak to each other. The police need to talk to the press. They need to get those messages across.
Yeah,
but there need to be some very strict rules about passing of confidential information. It just should not happen, and it certainly shouldn't happen for money. That is despicable. It's a betrayal of the trust that people have given that information to police officers, whether it's police officers working in the community, police officers working with families of victims, or in this case somebody who's working close to the royal family.
Presumably a criminal offence, isn't it?
Total criminal offence. They should be prosecuted, they should be dismissed from the police forces, and the full weight of the law applied to them.
What about the other aspect that was alluded to there, which is the fear that some of the police have of being turned over in the tabloid press? Have you come across that? Ever heard of it?
The worry we have always is that, are you vulnerable to an approach from an outside agency? Now, we carry significant responsibility. We have access to very, very secret and confidential material. And if you're not squeaky clean yourself, you may well find that you are vulnerable to an outside agency trying to acquire that knowledge.
But I mean, they're human beings. Of course they shouldn't be corrupt. Of course they shouldn't.
Absolutely.
But they're going to end up, occasionally some of them having affairs and all the rest of it.
Then they need to be open and honest about that. They cannot hide these affairs and risk the face somebody using that information to try and put them under pressure. They have to be open and honest. If they're having an affair, they need to declare it.